Police Minister Bheki Cele visiting hotspots in KwaZulu Natal ahead of tomorrow's elections. I understand he's now in Umzinto, where 9 police officers were injured yesterday while responding to an attack on a councillor. Senior reporter Dasen Thathiah in the area for us now. Dasen, hello to you. And this is what we were all worried about, aren't we? The increase of violence in the build-up to the elections, especially in KZN.
Particularly in KZN, and no truer words were spoken, Gareth, and the police minister confirming that it wasn't just a concern, it is an actual fact, something that they are dealing with as a reality now. I'm saying this because when he gave us the numbers, he said that overall, in the whole country, there are 272 voting stations that were regarded as high risk, where there could be potential breakouts of violence or anything of the sort, and almost half of them come from this province, from KwaZulu Natal. And if I had to break down that number just a little bit further for you, the majority of that, almost half, comes from eThekwini. So about 97 in eThekwini had been identified as potential hotspots. And again, why I say that this is a reality is because just yesterday that happened at several of them. Community protests broke out, hindering the voting process in some cases. Here where we are now in Umzinto at the Sulabasha school, that's what you're seeing behind me now. This is the community that has come out. You should be seeing the police minister there as well. He's been engaging with the community members here to find out exactly what the source of the problem is. So just to recap, the problem was that there was, as I mentioned, a protest that broke out here, but it got incredibly violent as well because there was a police officer that was shot during that confrontation with the community. As a result of all of this, that polling station was unable to open, and it remains closed even until now. I actually just want to walk up here and just see if I can interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt, Minister. Sorry to catch you to catch you off guard. I just wanted to get an update because you've been engaging with the community. We know of the issues that happened yesterday, but do you have any clearer understanding of what it was that went wrong and what's going to be happening going forward?
The first understanding is that people are angry. That is the first understanding. The second understanding is that it will be good to speak with whatever form of structure of the authority here. That's why we're still waiting for Induna and whoever it comes with. I'm told that there are people that are coming. As we're here as the police, really is not necessarily to come and urge people what to do, to vote or not to vote, but is to make sure that whatever and whoever does what, there is peace. There should be no violence. We are scared from the side of the police that if we don't deal with the situation, can get out of the hand. I was told that there were people that were shot here. I don't have an official report, but the police officer was shot here. So if you allow that situation to escalate, it might get out of the hand. So whatever we do, we'll have to arrest the situation so that there is no confrontation between communities and the police. The voting and all that, for us, needs to continue as the police, the IEC, will instruct the police to continue with the opening of the station. That's fine. But people cannot be pulled or pushed to go and vote. But as I'm here, I'm really working hard that there should be no confrontation and further and escalation of conflict between community and police.
And this sounds like an issue that should have been resolved long before we came to this weekend. What does it mean for today? I know you had mentioned earlier that where deemed necessary, the police can step in to take over certain duties. Will that happen today? So in effect, what I'm asking you is, before tomorrow, will this voting station open for special votes today?
That rests with IEC when IEC appoints the police, and that will be through the provincial commissioner to write the letters. As soon as they do those processes, yes, we get involved, taking over the station. But taking over the station does not mean enforcing people to vote. It means those that want to vote must come and vote and be protected. So that's the situation we're talking about.
Thank you very much. I'll leave you to that meeting. Appreciate that, Gareth. You've heard it there from the police minister. So a meeting to be held between him as well as the leadership in this area. As I also mentioned to him, it seems like some of these issues that should have been resolved long before voting day are now creeping to the fore. It seems, from what we've been able to establish here on the ground, that it relates to the councillor candidate, as we've seen in other parts of the province. And there is a group that has mobilized against that candidate, who is currently the councillor here and has been placed onto the list to be re-elected. And it seems like there's a group that has mobilized that didn't want that to happen, and that's why this protest had broken out. So hopefully that meeting then is able to resolve something that will allow the voting process to continue. What I can tell you, though, from the police side is that they have more than 18,000 security personnel that will be handling law and order in the country. That's not just the SAPS, it's also the SANDF that is assisting the SAPS, and that's also other officers like the RTI. And on that point of the SANDF, Cele has told us that that won't be at the polling stations. They will be here to protect infrastructure. Remember, that is a huge problem in KwaZulu Natal, particularly after the unrest that we saw in July.
Very interesting to see how the SANDF are able to assist the SAPS. But thanks for the clarity for the moment, Dasen Thathiah, as that developing story out of Umzinto we continue to cover here on eNCA. Back to Dasen a little bit later. And just a quick reminder, by the way, if you are heading out to go and take part in the elections tomorrow, to go and make your mark, just a call from the IEC is to take your own pen with. I know a lot of people would ordinarily just pitch up at the voting station and just use all the pens available, but because of COVID-19, of course, there has been a call for you to take your own pen with you. As well, I imagine a black ink pen is the way to go, just so we don't have to keep passing pens around, try and keep everybody safe.